We are Jeff and Debbie Ernest, and we're here to tell you our story of tithing. Psalms 37:4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." I wasn't raised with tithing being a part of my life. Usually giving to the church was good enough.
But I was raised with tithing. My father is a retired Southern Baptist minister, and from as long as I can remember, I was taught to tithe and to give, so I knew nothing but that.
But when Debbie and I got married, we realized that tithing needed to be a main part of our life, and that through that we were able to give to ministries and be able to be a part of God's kingdom.
Malachi 3:10 says, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it."
We felt many times that God was testing us because there were so many times in our life that we did not have the resources to be able to make it from time, really week to week. But God was there all the time because we always felt we needed to give God our first before anything else, and that He would bless us over and over.
Let me give you a couple of examples of what we're talking about. When our children were small and we were living from week to week, we had a time where we needed a piece of carpet. And I paid the bills and I wrote the tithe check, and Jeff came in from work and I said, let's go shopping for the carpet. And he said, what are we going to pay for it with? And I said, I don't know, but we've paid God and we're going to trust Him. So we went to the carpet store and we were shocked at the prices. We looked and we were ready to leave, and the lady said, you know, if you could use, and she described the carpet she had in the back, she said, you can just have it. And we went and looked at it, and it was exactly what we needed, down to the color, the size, everything, and it was free. It was from God. We walked away that day speechless because we knew that God had a hand in that. Another time, our taxes were due in January, and we came home from church in December one Sunday night, and Jeff got a phone call from the company he worked for. They had through the whole year a contest that no one knew about. The contest did not exist the year before that or ever after that. And Jeff won that contest that year, and the amount was almost identical to what we needed to pay the taxes. Listen, it would be unfair of us not to share this with you. God's plan is so awesome, and it is so wonderful to give and then to watch Him give back and to bless so much. You can't outgive Him. He's asked for 10% and He gives back so much more. In Jeremiah it says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. He knows our every need, and He is ready to meet that need when He sees that we trust Him, that we're going to have faith in every part of our life, and we're going to give it to Him.
Tithing is one thing you can do no matter how much you make. You just have to trust Him. We try to teach our children that tithing is so important that they can do it all of their life. Ours have. They have continued to be tithers because they know that God will bless them.
In fact, every time Stephen comes in, I ask him, Stephen, are you still tithing? Because I want to remind him he needs God, and he needs God's favor, and he needs to obey Him in every area of his life. Now, let us just share, 10% is a start. That's God's command. That's the minimum, and we'll say on gross, not on net. But 3 times at least in our lives, in our married lives, God has spoken to us individually at the same time, and we've come home from church and He's told us to up it, to give more. Test me and try me, and we've done it, and it's been so exciting to see Him work. 10% is the beginning. Watch Him. Listen, we'd love to just sit down with you and tell you so many stories. It's just, there's nothing better than serving God and being obedient in every area. And we encourage you to test Him, give Him a try, and see what He does.